What's up, Stampers? It is Amy Rich, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in my basement studio, and it is a little bit of a chilly day, although it's warmer than it has been the last few here in southern Minnesota. But I should speak for myself. I don't mind days like this because it makes being in the basement studio a little bit easier, and I actually love to use weather as an excuse to be in my studio and create. So it's fine. It is all good. And actually, I take the dogs out every few hours, and that's perfect. I get my outside time in during that puppy dog time. And today we're going to talk a little bit about Last Chance, and I also want to discuss a little bit about my upcoming classes because I am starting up again virtual classes in May. And I'm hitting scrapbooking hard because May is National Scrapbooking Month, and that means we need to scrapbook. So we're going to do that, and I can't wait. I'm going to share a few of the products that we're going to be using in our pages and in our mini album in May. So here's how it works. You go to amyrich.net and you click upcoming classes, and you can see and read about and purchase any of the classes there. And I send out supplies if you choose that option, or there are options where you can cut for yourself as well. So there are different options available for you to choose from, and different price points and so forth. I think my favorite price point of this particular session month will be the mini album. It is going to be a super fun album. I think, show you the paper we're going to use. It might have gotten buried. But I think I can show you the paper we're going to use for that, and it is super fun. And if I have the dies handy that we're going to use for that as well, then I will show those. You have until May 1st to register for any of the May classes, and I just look forward to sharing with you. It's going to be a lot of fun. So with that said, we need to talk about Last Chance. There are a lot of products on the Last Chance list that make me want to shed one tear, but then I'm fine to move on. I just need my one tear of mourning, and then, then I can move on from there. But it is sad to see some of the products go. And at the same time, there are a lot of products I haven't used in a while, and it's time to move on to some new things. So it's just fine. And I actually love new stuff the most. So it's okay to say goodbye. But we have some pretty things to show and share with you that I don't want you to miss before it is gone. Maggie, it is afternoon here. I'm jealous. Good morning to you. Afternoon here means half the day seems to be gone already. So I will choose to look at the world from California and say good morning. All right, we're going to flip the camera. And like I said, I have some things that I definitely want to share and show. And you can see we're using, I got to get my glasses. Then I can see your comments. We're using blending brushes today, and I'm so excited about that project. But before we get started on any of that, I do want to take this opportunity to share with you some information about the upcoming classes. So one of the classes that we're going to be doing features two 12 by 12 scrapbooking layouts using the beautiful Waterside Retreat Designer Series paper, which I'm going to pull out of here so that you can see how much fun it is. So we're going to do two 12 by 12 layouts. One will be with this particular Designer Series paper. And what you will also see is use of the relaxing waterside dyes. So you're going to see a little bit of Adirondack action and maybe some greenery and things like that. So this particular designer series paper, I fell in love with right away, mostly because my dad did a lot of fishing, and I've done a lot of camping over the years, and I like to be by the lake, so this was perfect. Now, that being said, some of you may say, well, I don't do any of those things. Hi, Peg. But there are different sides of the paper that you'll be able to choose so that you're not honed in on exactly what I'm doing. But 12 by 12 layouts using that product, and also product out of the current mini catalog, which will be the Nature Walk Designer Series paper and sticker sheet. So we're going to do a layout with that and a layout with this in my scrapbooking layouts class coming in May. So registration is open now, amyrich.net. Click upcoming classes, everything there. Except for I left one 25th anniversary option open for in-person. Otherwise, everything else there can be done virtually, which is awesome. All right, let me bring in what we're going to use today. I am so excited to bring back Layers of Beauty. I feel like I have A, not used it enough, and B, have not used it in a very long time. And the product is still available, and what I love is it's still available in a bundle. So in the bundle, you receive these 3 items. We have the masks, which we'll be using, and I'll be showcasing those this afternoon. I got to get them all lined up here. So the masks come in that bundle, the dies come in that bundle, and the stamp set comes in the bundle as well. So you have a lot of fun things to play with in this bundle for only $56, I think. And guess what? That qualifies you for my special that I've got going on right now for my Stampiversary. And that is spend $50 in my online store and receive a grab bag. And the products won't be in the grab bag when I send them to you, because when I'm mailing, I will obviously be smart about the packaging and all of that. But I'm calling it a grab bag sale. So with a $50 purchase, you'll receive $50 at least in retired product. So it's a fun little guessing game what you're going to get, but it'll be stamps, dies, embellishments, paper, all of those fun things, maybe even an embossing folder, who knows. But this bundle right here would apply for that special I am having, because it is over $50. Okay, perhaps if you have not seen this product, you don't know all of the nuances. If you have, you're probably sitting there going, oh yeah, I forgot about that, because that's how I was with it when I was looking through the last chance list on the online store. Now, in order to see everything that is last chance, and much of it, by the way, is discounted, and actually check each piece of this a bundle before you buy it in a bundle, because it perhaps is cheaper if you buy it separately, actually, because of the deep discounts. So what I would do is go to the online store, click I'll just pull it up so that I can see where I'm looking here. Hover over shop and then deals, click on deals, and then you'll see last chance products. And there are 7 pages, at least last I looked, of product that are on that last chance list. We are going to start by using our new Basic Black Hybrid ink pad that will become available on May 5th. And this will take the place of the Stays On ink and the Memento ink. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about those inks because people are wondering what the deal is. Like, why are we doing the switch? Well, first of all, it's always nice to have a Stampin' Up! Product, right? Where it does things that other products can do, but it's made by Stampin' Up. And actually, that is quite a coincidence in the storytelling realm. And let me let me explain. So, I don't know if you've noticed, but recently, as in probably the last several years, it has been very difficult to find the ink pads and ink refills. They're often sold out of our store, and that's because Stampin' Up! Was having a hard time getting them in a timely manner. And that was happening at the same time they were developing this ink pad. So what that meant was that we were getting a replacement that is going to be quicker on the ordering and all of that. So that's it's kind of a coincidental thing that both things happened at the same time. But you can use it with Stampin' Blends, and you can use it with watercoloring. Today we're just going to use it with ink, so it's not going to be very nothing very sneaky about this pad here today. But one thing that people are complaining about this pad is that it's very difficult to open when you first get it. It is meant to be sealed tight so that the ink doesn't dry out. And think about when it's in shipping, it is shrink wrapped, so the air is pulled out of it anyway. So it is difficult to open. But I have a trick that really is, I have found it to be a surefire way to open it. And that would be to open on one edge instead of trying to just lift the cover off. So I'm just going to pull it open on one side and it comes right open. And I love that little tip. And that's from other demonstrators and Stampin' Up! Who have talked about the difficulty of getting it open. All right, so I am going to ink up this beautiful stamp. And I'm one who kind of likes this option where I put the paper down. And you can see it doesn't all fit, and that's okay. That goes with my design. That is just fine. So I'm going to rub the ink on there and get it, make sure it's all the way around. All right. And then we're going to pull that off. And you can see I probably could have used a little bit more ink on there, and that's okay. I'm not going to worry about that for this particular project. But what I have noticed is I'm so used to the firm foam pads, not necessarily in the black, but the firm foam pads where those are really juicy. And I got to remember it's a little bit difficult to I don't know what I'm saying, to transfer knowledge from one ink pad to another. And actually, I'm inclined to try it again, but I'm not going to. I'm resisting the urge. And Maggie's right. When it becomes hard to obtain, it is really smart of Stampin' Up! to have started the process of making their own ink pads. So super cool. All right, so then we've got our masks, which are labeled 1 through 5. And I'm going to take the first one, and that also for me is going to, and I got to bring this back, is going to use the lightest color. Now, the trickiest part about these masks is to get them lined up where we want them on the stamp, over the stamp. So here I think I've got it. And then I'm going to use yellows. Here's the thing about me and yellows. I'm blonde. So by nature, I am not hot into yellows. Like, I don't wear yellow because of because of my blondness. It washes me out. And so I don't in turn, I don't use a lot of yellow on in my stamping, which is, I know, kind of weird. But it's just the way it is. I'm just not that much of a yellow person. But when I look at these roses, I think they are so pretty in yellow. So we're going to take that lemon lolly. We're going to get that all inked up. And make sure to catch all the little bits that are open here. Okay, you can see those little buds here and here. Don't forget about those. Okay, and if I really want to make life easier on myself, now that I'm using my paper like this, I'm just going to mark up here. Can you see that? I don't think you can. There. I'm going to mark my notch in my, this thing, except now this moved. But having the notch marked makes it easier to line up your next mask. So I'm going to bring in mask number 2 next. And I'm going to remember to turn it. And I did say I moved here. I should have done this first. Put a little adhesive there. And then we're going to see. I'm not going to put it down until so this is where I want my mask because I got it ready. And then I'm going to line that up again. It's easier if I would have put my tape on there right away. But here's how I remember how to line things up. These daisies over here, they have centers that you can line up with the center of the flower. That makes it a little bit easier. Okay, then we're going now to our Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to use the same blending brush. And one of the reasons for that is I don't need a lot of yellow blending brushes because I don't use yellow that much. And so if you start with the lightest and work your way to the darkest, then it's okay. So we are using the same one. So we started with Lemon Lolly, next Daffodil Delight, and you can see the shading on there come to life. Yay! And then we're going to go to Crushed Curry. So Crushed Curry is next. And mask number 3. And it's labeled 3 and it's got the notch. So if I find that notch, it should keep it in the area I want. And once again, line up those flower centers. And that's going to be your surefire way to make sure you're in a good spot. So I'm going from light to dark with my yellows. I was tempted to use Darling Duckling, but I hadn't practiced with it yet, so I wasn't sure exactly how it was going to play with my Daffodil Delight and Lemon Lolly. So I stuck with what I knew, and that was Crushed Curry. And look at how pretty! It's so pretty. All right, then we're going to go to mask number 4, which is Leaves. And we're going to do Old Olive for those. Good old olive. All right, so we know that next year there is going to be a color refresh. And I'm going to beg Stampin' Up, don't do anything with our old olive, or you might get told. Am I right? I mean, we don't want anything to happen to the old olive. We love our old olive. Who loves old olive out there? Chime in. We need to speak about old olive and how next year's refresh better not include that. I know I fall in love with colors quite easily, so it would be okay. It would be okay. But We want our old olive. And I'm speaking for all of us, unless you chime in and say otherwise. Okay, so there I've got my old olive leaves. Look at how pretty. Oh my gosh. Green and gold were meant to go together, which is why I even wore my Packer shirt today, not even thinking about that we're using green and yellow today. But I can't help it. I'm a Packer fan. I love my Packers, and had to wear my green and gold today, and it worked out for me. Awesome. Yay, says me. Okay, now this one, we'll just highlight those leaves, and we'll do that in, yay, Pat. Pat chimed in. Thanks, Pat. You were on the same page. We need that old olive. I feel like this could be my opportunity to get evening evergreen and sage soft succulent back next year in the color refresh. Check this out. Oh my goodness. Okay, so take a look. Even though my stamping wasn't super dark, it doesn't matter, because those masks brought out the detail of the flowers really well. All right, so we'll see about evening evergreen and soft succulent next year. In the meantime, though, I actually found a green that I like more than any other ever with Stampin' Up. And that would be my lovely Peaceful Pine. I love Peaceful Pine. It is so gorgeous. And Peg loves it. Peg loves Old Olive too. Stylish Shape Dives. That's the other one that scares me. I'm with you, Peg. But, you know, we've gotten rid of other dives before that I'm like, all right. I mean, I hated it when they did it. But then I'm like, okay. If we must. Because there's always something new, right? We survive. Okay, so now we're going to cut. This is a 4.5 inch piece. We're going to cut that into 3 1.5 inch pieces. So I'm going to use my trimmer to get those pieces. And I'll put that aside and bring in some Daffodil Delight cardstock. And now I can get this all sectioned out in here. Isn't that cool? Love that. I love doing an optical thing like that, where it almost looks like you're looking through a window when you're, it's got the window panes in the way. Yeah, I think that's kind of awesome. All right, so I'll do that. Left, right, and left. And then I'll get that other one centered in between. I love it. So pretty. This is a really simple card idea. And you can use it with designer series paper. It would look really pretty with that. It's just easy to just chop up a piece and layer it on another, right? And then our card base, we're going to go Lemon Lolly. I often like to, because visually it looks really nice, I think, to do a dark layer around your inside piece to really make it pop. And then the lighter layer as your card base. Okay, so here we've got that. Now we need to bring in, I'm going to do Mossy Meadow for my sentiment. And I love that this has a happy anniversary. I'm going to do happy anniversary. And we're going to do that on a piece of white scrap, basic white. When you are using Stampin' Blends with our new hybrid ink pad, the best that I've heard about, now I haven't tested them all, but the best I've heard about is using white willow cardstock because it won't, that black won't bleed like at all. So play with that hybrid pad before you're ready to create your final project, because you're just going to want to learn the ups and the downs of it and the differences from the other ink pads. My sister-in-law's at the beach. That's so lovely. They've been beaching for a few days now, and we are not here yet. The beach sounds lovely right now. Just lovely. All right, we're going to add dimensionals. I just used, and actually I glossed right by it, I just used a punch that is retiring. This is on the last chance list and is available still last time I opened up the store. So while you're in there getting your hands on the layers of beauty, you can grab that as well. All right, so I'm just going to use my happy anniversary punch right over here. And then I'm going to do something a little odd. I'm going to grab a different color of ribbon. And that's because Darling Duckling, I think, is really an easy color to mix with other yellows. So even though I'm not using Darling Duckling on my card, I am definitely okay with using the ribbon, because I think it coordinates with the Daffodil Delight really well. So we've got our little bow made here, and we're going to cut that off, both sides. I hope you're using sunscreen, Carol. And then you have to decide which side that bow is going to go on. Oh gosh, let's right or left. I feel like there's more room on the right, but I don't want to cover more flowers. So I think I'm going to go on the left. Yell at me if you disagree. Amy, don't do that. I'm so excited about my my anniversary coming up, April 26th. When you go to the online store to check out my classes, upcoming classes, I still have it open for you to purchase the supplies to create those cards with us that day. I will be having that open for a few more days, so go snag that if you wish, because it is it's going to be really cool to be able to create together. I'm going to bring in something that is not on the last chance list. It's the 2025-2027 In Color Flat Pearls. That's a mouthful. And again, I'm using the Darling Duckling, which I think will be just fine, even though I am not using that color of paper or ink. And I had a little smudge here from my black pad, and I'm going to tell you why that happened, because I know why it happened. The hybrid ink does call for a little bit of dry time. So they say about 2 minutes of dry time for that. And I don't think I gave it any time at all. So thank you. Tina heard at the beginning that I don't really use yellow. And now here I am showcasing our beautiful yellow colors. So there we go. Even the Darling Duckling made an appearance in embellishments and ribbon. All right, the other thing I just wanted to talk quickly about is my Something Out of the Ordinary class, which is coming up also in May. It is 3 fun fold cards, and we're going to be featuring the Fern and Flora, I think it's called, Designer Series paper, which is gorgeous. And I will show you that next week with the finished cards. And then these dies. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that class. And in that class, you receive and I think it's buried here also, because I just used it yesterday. You will receive part part of a pack of the designer series paper that coordinates with these, but you will also receive the embossing folder. And that is only a class I can do when this first becomes available. Otherwise, people have it and then it throws off the whole thing. So you will receive the folder and partial pack of the designer series paper with the class. And then I cut all of your supplies for that. So you can find something out of the ordinary also in my class listings registration page, which is amyrich.net. Click upcoming classes. Read all about it. All right. There we go. We've covered a lot today, and it is 1:31, so we need to get going, or so I say. I not only have the anniversary coming up, but I also have the gala that I host every year. I'm chairperson of the gala committee at our school, and that is coming up on May 8th. So there's a lot climbing on top of each other and a lot of to-do lists these days. So thank you so much for joining me today. I am looking forward already to Saturday, where we're going to make a quilty card. I'm so excited. I will post the cutting instructions later today, and I will be gone in a place where I'm not quite sure. So I will likely pre-record. I'm going to pre-record, and then I'll decide when I get there. Maybe I'll do it live after all, but I just don't know about the space and the internet and all of that. So I will likely be pre-recording for you on Saturday, but I'm not 100% sure. So we'll see. It might be a surprise that I come live. Who knows? All right. Other than that, I will see you next week, Wednesday. We have What's Up Stampers Plus coming your way, and I'm super stoked about that class. It is an hour-long class for What's Up Stampers instead of just the half hour that I'm with you normally. And so we will create several things next week in our hour together and get a deep dive into some of the products that I'm going to be using. So watch for that information. I have also, and just before you go, I have also planned all of my What's Up Stampers through May. So I think what I'll be doing is posting them all and putting in the description of the event what I'll be using, or at least give you a sneak into what's going to be happening each of those Wednesdays during What's Up Stampers. So thanks for joining me. I'll see you one way or the other on Saturday. Have a good day, everybody.